Do you know that when you come to the US on a visiting visa, there's certain things you are not allowed to do, and doing those things can lead to you not being able to get a visa in the future. To drive this point home, I usually don't do this, but we're going to use a celebrity as an example. Yes. So there is a lot of discourse in the Nigerian African community about a Nollywood actress that came to the US and was staying with a friend, and all the drama that came out of that. Now, you may be watching that drama and you're thinking, what does this have to do with immigration? Well, Well, as I was watching it, all I thought about was all the immigration consequences that can come out of that video. So there's a woman in, I believe, Maryland that did a video about a Nigerian actress called Ekene. And while I was watching the video, I'm sure other people were watching it for the drama, but I was watching it and it just hit me about all the different aspects that can lead to this actress, if this is true, can lead to this actress not being able to potentially get another visiting visa to the US, because we know the US government, the US embassy, pay attention to social media. I am U.S. immigration attorney Lilian Chukwurah, and I help my clients get green cards and citizenships for themselves and their families using the U.S. immigration law system. I know this is not my usual content. I do not typically talk about social media dramas, but when I can see a lesson for you guys, I'm going to bring it to you. So let's get into this drama. So according to the woman that did the video, Ekene was applying for a visa, and I believe she got denied and reached out to this woman, and she ended up sending her an invitation. Ekene ends up being approved for a visiting visa to the US. Good. That's usually how it goes. An invitation is done, the person qualifies, they are approved. Now, the first red flag I got from an immigration aspect is when this woman was talking about, well, when Ekene came, she was already, the woman in Maryland, was already planning a baby shower for Ekene, which tells me that Ekene was already pregnant before she came to the US. And there was a plan for her to give birth in the US. So that's already the first red flag immigration-wise. If you are coming to the US to give birth and you did not disclose that to the officer when you had your interview as the reason you are coming to the US, that can be seen as misrepresentation. Okay. Even worse is if she was pregnant and the officer asked and she did not disclose it. Again, we were not in the room. We do not know what happened at her interview. So this is all speculation. Allegedly, right? But if that is the sequence of events, she got the invitation, she went to the interview, did not mention she was pregnant, and had the intent when she was coming to the US to have this child in the US, that's already violating your non-immigrant intent. That's already violating the terms of the visiting visa, because you are not supposed to want to come here to give birth. So that's already a violation right there. Another thing that raised a major red flag for me was the medical treatment she received in the US. So according to this person that did the video, again, we do not know if what she's saying is true, but if what she's saying is true, and this is the sequence of events, it can be a problem. So if she's correct that when Ekene came to the US, she then eventually went through to register at different hospitals and they were not allowing her to register because she's not a resident or she does not have the proper medical insurance and all those things. And then this person in Maryland was able to get her registered at the hospital, take her to her prenatal appointments, and she gave birth in a hospital in the US. Okay, my first question would be, If you were going to a hospital in the US, were you paying out of pocket? Because that is a requirement for a B1, B2 visa. So if you're coming to the US for a visit, you cannot take advantage of the US medical system. So if there is free medical treatments, free prenatal care that was taking place, and you were not paying for it, that can be a reason for you to then eventually have consequences. So if she was in fact getting free medical treatment and was not paying for the medical treatment, for giving birth in the US, the prenatal, the postnatal doctor's appointments that she had, if she was not paying for those things out of pocket, that can raise issues later. Those were the two red flags that I caught in this video right away. Was what was your intent in coming to the US? And then did you pay for the medical treatment you received in the US? People are having their visas revoked because they didn't pay a medical bill in the US, because they came to the US, got treatment, and then left and never actually paid for that medical treatment. You can get your visa revoked. And if you apply for a new visa, you are not getting that new visa. So the reason I use that as an example is for anyone that is looking to travel to the US for a visit, the reason for your visit needs to match what you actually do in the US. So if the reason for your visit is to go to Disney World and then you end up just going to Minnesota that does not have a Disney World, that's going to be a problem in the future, because then you can't really show that the reason you said that you were coming here is what you actually ended up doing. We're going to see a lot of this happen with the World Cup coming up. I'm telling you right now, a lot of people are going to say that they're going to the World Cup and never actually go to any games, okay? So that's going to be a problem that we're going to see coming up this year. Now, going back to the Ekene of it all, the third red flag is the fact that this is on social media, right? The fact that this information is on social media is a huge problem, and it's going to be a problem for Ekene in the future. Because whether this story is accurate or not, it is out there. And I have not seen a statement from Ekene refuting what this woman is saying. So just know, if the information is out there, the US government is going to find it. And if Ekene applies for a visa in the future, they can go back and look at the social media, see this video, and be like, oh, you lied to us in the past. You said you weren't going there to give birth. You ended up giving birth. Did you pay for your hospital stay? Please give us a receipt for that hospital stay. And 9 times out of 10, when an officer asks you for a receipt for a hospital stay and you do not have that receipt, they're going to deny your visa. And on this point of the social media aspect of things, it's going to live there forever. Like, unless this woman scrubs the internet of all the videos, of all the blogs, of all the people talking about this situation, the US government, when they Google her and she's applying for a visa, they may see this video and see the same red flags that I saw, and cause that to be an issue for her when she goes to apply for another visa to the US. So it's really, really important that as you're going through your immigration journey, keep as much out of the social media world as possible, right? In this situation, Ekene cannot control what other people post about her, but she can control what she posts. And addressing some of these issues publicly may actually help her later. So again, I stick to, again, when it comes to celebrity dramas and all of that, I look for the immigration in it, and I try to bring that to you. So in this situation, first and first, please. So here are the 3 lessons from this whole thing. So the first thing, whatever reason you gave the embassy for coming to the US, make sure you follow through with that. If something changes while you're in the US and that causes you to stay longer or to change your purpose or whatever, that's okay. Things do happen. So for example, if Ekene had to go to a medical appointment in the US because she was feeling if she felt like she wasn't feeling well and she went to a hospital and the doctor tells her, oh no, we do not recommend you traveling, getting on a plane because of this condition, that's fine, right? Because she will have documentation to show why she ended up staying in the US and giving birth in the US. Okay, so change in situation can be explained, but you need to make sure you're documenting the reason that change happened. Secondly, if you are going to go to the hospital in the US, right, if the purpose of your trip was not for a medical appointment, but you ended up having a medical appointment in the US, you want to make sure that you are paying for that medical appointment, or if the hospital has a grant system, because sometimes they do have grants that you can apply for within the hospital, and the hospital will end up paying for your treatment. Make sure you apply for that, okay? Do not leave the US with medical bills unpaid, because that can come and hunt you when you go to apply for a new visa to the US, because they're going to be like, are you coming to rack up another medical bill that you're not going to pay? All right, so that's really important. And then thirdly, try to keep as much of your life outside of social media as possible, okay? You cannot control what other people post about you, but you can control your reaction to what those people post. When they're posting negative things that could potentially affect your ability to get a visa to the US, you may want to address it. Okay, I know Ekene is taking the high road and not addressing these things. She's busy, she's working, but when these things can affect your potential ability to get a visa to the US, you may want to address it, okay? But the key here is try to keep as much of a social media as possible. So like I said, I don't get involved in the social media drama of it all, but when it has an immigration lesson, I will always bring it to you, because you need to know these things so that you do not make the same mistakes. And of course, she can't control what other people are saying about her, but it can actually have an immigration consequence for her. So pay attention, make sure that you are following the rules of your visa, and if you're not, don't put it on social media. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. If you would like a private consultation with me, do that at my website, lilylegal.com. Click on contact us, and you can pick a date and time that works best for you for us to chat about your situation.